Yes, the background check is for good or for bad, man.
Welcome to Founders Voyage. Our speaker this week is a deep diver in innovation and creativity and an experienced global mentor who has brought his passion and expertise surrounding innovation to serve aspiring entrepreneurs across 5 continents. He founded elio.xyz, a company with international operations focused on providing solutions to increase productivity and sustainability in agriculture. An entrepreneur with too many achievements to list. We are honored to have Luciano del Silveira Araujo sharing his experiences with us today.
Thanks so much, Spencer. We're delighted that each of you could join us today. Luciano is going to kick off our talk today with a bit of a presentation about his journey, and then we'll open up the floor for questions and discussion. Thank you so much for making time to be with us, Luciano, from beautiful sunny Brazil. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's amazing honor to be here. I think the work that Nancy, Spencer, Carlos, Danny, everybody that's connected with this channel is doing, it's super important for the community. I'm an enthusiast on the area of innovation and entrepreneurship, and this is something that guided me a long time ago. I started to work on the fields of design and innovation maybe more than 20 years ago. And my journey, it's not like a super highway, or I didn't get the most easier path. And I think it's pretty common to have this kind of history. But starting from the beginning, I am an architect by training. I worked on a big company here in Brazil that looks like a little bit with the Pentagram company, a little bit with Zydo, but more connected with Visual ID. I was inside of this company since my first year in the architecture school, working with really big brands and different kind of projects. And it gave me a big opportunity to understand different kind of markets. In 2003, I founded my own company, my design studio, and I started to teach at the same time at Instituto Europeu de Design disciplines connected with product design, visual design, digital design. It was the early stage from some kind of names that we have now, like UX or VR or AR, but in that period was the early stage of it. But I was really excited to use what I learned on the architecture school, in my business experience, and in my, I think since the beginning, the creative side of these works was something that was bringing to me a lot of energy. And I was always super excited with all of these. It was not easy to be an entrepreneur because the name was not there already. To do that, you was normally called like a crazy guy or somebody that don't have a job and is trying to do by their own. But for me, it was super important to start early in 2003 with my own design studio. And I was able to do 2 things: to make money, to really work in something that I was good, because I was inside of a good company. I learned it in a good school. And for me, it was super fun to put it in action. It was something that I was really connected, and it gave me a lot of good things. But in some stage, I started to do some personal research and personal development in things more connected with technology, since computing to systems like autopilot, robots, music, something that always brought a lot of energy to me. And this mix connected with the educational part, in looking from the position that I'm now, it was something that started to create something new. And when I was in 2012, maybe 2013, I was working for several years in a specific technology that is a kind of aircraft. It was my graduation thesis on the architecture school. It's airship is a helium-filled system. And because of the convergence of a lot of technologies connected with the do-it-yourself industry, with the new sensors, with the cloud computing, the possibility to really prototype fast with 3D printers, I saw that was an opportunity to change a little bit my way to work. And then inside of my design studio, I started to work on a new idea that became my company that's called Elio. That was the reason that I went to MIT, the first class of MIT Bootcamps. I was trying to understand how to fundraise here in Brazil. What is fun, because it's still early stage here. You can listen a lot of histories, but it's still early stage. But I started to receive super different informations, and because of my connection with computers and understanding how, for example, Apple started. I am an Apple user since I was 9 years old. I'm talking about 1982. I was in the countryside of a country land, far away from São Paulo, the noisy city that you can listen. And I was already trying to get one computer when I was 9 years old. For this period, I was considered completely crazy. Why Luciano don't want a horse or something that's cooler? But I really understood since the beginning the path of the construction of Apple. And because I was an Apple user, I was familiarized with the history of the Stanford innovation centers and how it worked. But for me, when I started to look for more information in the West Coast, for me, it was a lot of noise around funding, VCs, and how you make money with that. Everybody looking for exits, what's not wrong. But because I was trying to bring something that was a hardware, and a hardware that normally people think about, and about the wind, and about a lot of questions that I can answer. But I said, man, if I try to go there where people are trying to do exponential apps, they will kill me in 1 second. Maybe I need to go in some place where people are more easy with hard science or hardwares, or are not so straight to the point to have a company that have this kind of exponential growth. I know that's possible to have it, but in my vision, because I was from a completely different background with zero knowledge in the traditional management and business training. I was a self-taught entrepreneur since 2003. By luck, I got the first run of the EDX 101 course, and it was amazing. For me, it was pretty cool to see the work of Bill Wallet and Nerdine and everybody that really designed something that was visual good, completely different from other MOOCs. It was super important for me. And then with the opportunity to go to the bootcamp, I said, this is a chance to really go in a place that maybe people will listen completely misfit in the area, bringing some new ideas. Maybe they can start to listen to me and help me to design a business around that. What is fun that now seeing all the things that I already know it about service design or design thinking, was completely encapsulated on that. And the genius part of what Bill Wallet made with the 24 steps is exactly that. And he says in the beginning of any classroom that he is good in connecting dots and still doing that. And making the history a little bit shorter, I learned a lot about the things that I was already able to do, but I was not listening too much. And this was something that changed a lot my past. And because of that, I started to be more receptive to different ideas. And my past as a mentor in 10 editions, considering the digital ones, I was able to travel to 5 continents, to be with people all over the world. I have friends everywhere. It's amazing. And learning all the time. Of course, doing that, bringing Elio to the ground and really make it happen, traveling a lot with a family. In the end of the MIT Bootcamp in Brazil that I became the head of and worked 1 year to bring this to Brazil, I was completely broken in every aspect. Super happy, super amazing journey, but it was super strong to me. And I was really drained. My energy was down. And maybe because of my... I use it to be a rock climber. I'm not risk averse. I know what is a risk. Okay, it's why I still here. But I think now I have a different perspective. What is to teach entrepreneurship and innovation, and the kind of care that you need to have when you are bringing these to different ecosystems, to different countries, to different people, because sometimes you are teaching something that's more connected with a specific environment. I think Professor Bill Wallet, do it in an amazing way. The 24 step is super connected with the reality, and he is super care with that. I'm not saying that they are trying to sell you something that's completely impossible to do anywhere. It's the framework super strong. I still use that, and it really works. But sometimes we can go in directions, or we can jump with a lot of faith in some directions that can put you in trouble. And is exactly what I'm doing now. I still working with different companies. I still working as a consultant. I'm working now with an amazing company that is connected with industrial optimization using real mathematics, and it's beautiful. Elio is flying high. We are expanding on a really exponential rate. I'm connected with another company that I founded that's connected with logistics and systems that can really help people work with river lanes here in Brazil, and it's a completely eco-friendly giant convoys. There is a lot of cool things that I'm doing, but I'm taking care of the time I can spend with that. Of course, I need to do money. I need to work, and the trick is that what can I say? My past is from an architect and designer by training. I become a more not careful, but I can measure more the risks I can take, and I'm trying to, when I jump in some direction to help somebody, I make sure on this path of innovation, I make sure that I'm really able to spend hours and not damage things on this path. By heart, my path is amazing. I was really able to be with amazing people. In the last 6 years, I was with more than 70 nationalities, worked with different kind of backgrounds, people that have super difficult histories. I was able to work with refugees in Jordan. Crazy pass, but a lot of learning, and I'm ready to share more. I think is that I think the Q&A part can be super important here, Nancy, because I am an open book, okay, and I'm not afraid to say that what I learned that during your past here in this reality, when you are more connected with your inside truths, is when you can do better things for everybody. And I'm here to listen and to share a little bit more any part of this journey.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I love that too. When you're more connected with your inside truths, you're better able to serve everybody. I think that's a wonderful verbalization. Honestly, I kind of marveled and got a little overwhelmed at how many things you've accomplished. I know that you're quite the accomplished entrepreneur, but I was wondering like how you got started and what you felt kind of most unprepared for when you first started your entrepreneurial journey.
If I start to talk about my first the design studio part was a bootstrap, and it's a completely different period. We are talking about 2003. Okay, I think it's better. I don't know if you are asking this part of the history or if we want to know a little bit more about what was my perception after or pretty close to the boot camp and bringing Elio to reality. What do you think is better to focus?
I think if you kind of talk about, some of the early struggles that you had, kind of getting your momentum going, I think that would be hugely helpful.
Yeah, I think the key part is when I was out of the school and when I started my first business, the design studio, I was not ready to understand that my objective was to make money. Okay, it was something that I was trying to just design and make things that I learned on the school. Was like, okay, if I do good design, good things, and I will make money, it will be something a little bit automatic. And this lack of preparation was super hard. Of course, I studied on a great school. I was coming from the number one design studio in Brazil. I was able to to keep things going, but my lack of preparation on this was something that I spent like 4 or 5 or 6 years to just figure out how to not burn money and lose everything that I got to keep things going. And this is fun. But I learned a lot during this process. After I become more disciplined and talking about Elio, I think the key part is to get the right partners and to pay attention with who you are connecting. When you start this, you need to be prepared to the ups and downs. And of course, everybody needs to live. But when you have a family or when you have kids, you need to really pay attention if you are putting things in risk. Because if I keep it my past as a designer, as an architect with my design studio, I was able to keep things on like a super, not linear, but a curve, but not an exponential curve. But I will be in a safe position. And the kind of risk that I take it, if I got the wrong partners on the beginning, I will be in trouble now. I will be in big trouble. I'm not making a lot of money with Elio. It's a long shot. It's a long-term thing. But if I started with the wrong guys, man, it will be pretty bad for me. And I think this is one thing that you need to pay attention. Sometimes it's better to wait a little bit until you have the right persons to start your business. This is something that can really change the game. And pay attention if the kind of risk that you are taking are not much for other people that are connected with you, because sometimes it can be really damaged when things go really wrong. You are able to bring it back. I'm not saying that is anything that's there. It's okay, you are down, no business. But when you are in the down times, you bring everybody down that's really closer to you. This is something that can make you think about what kind of risk you are taking.
Absolutely. And I feel that the skill to be able to determine who would be a good partner is one of those incredibly valuable and difficult skills that I think it's very right to point out as a priority. Now, we've talked a little bit about your past so far. I'd love to hear a little bit more about sort of what you're doing now and in, say, the next few years sort of thing, what you're thinking about. Are there any hidden surprises you're bringing up? Do you have a steady course? Things like that, if you don't mind.
Yes, I'm working now exactly I am in a stage that Elio is becoming a public company here in Brazil. It's already a holding, but because we are changing the headquarters to Portugal, and things started to go really fast, okay? And I have to take care a lot of paperwork, check if I'm doing the right things with everybody that work it, and there is a lot of pretty different business for me that check a lot of documentations, and it's a different stage of this company. But connected with the innovation part, I'm taking care of the design to work with directly with the design, because we have a giant team now in Portugal. We have 200 engineers in this company that's a joint venture that we created, but based on my patent. But I'm really paying attention on the details of these new aircrafts or these new things that are coming. We are building one system that is able to carry 250 kilograms. It's a drone that is able to fly for more than 20 hours, and it's super disruptive. I designed one that can stay over the jet streams. It don't goes in the direction of the Loom system from Google. It's a different system, but we can stay there in this high level atmosphere for more than 20 days. And we are building one too. There is one specifically to work with the transport of medication for difficult areas, the precision spray systems for agriculture connected with all the computer vision and intelligence that I developed in the last 6 years with Elio here in Brazil. This is around Elio. With the Convoy new company, we are working with big systems that have more than 400 meters, and it can go down the rivers that are really curved and sinuous rivers here in Brazil, using just electric power and solar power, and we can carry tons and tons of commodities with zero impact. We are not using trucks, we are not using trains, and we are using rivers in a super responsible way. And there is a lot of logistic challenge to connect it with these other systems like the trucks, and that we can use a lot of intelligence on that. more connected with the logistic part and optimization. I'm working now with a company that have a super strong core on industrial optimization. Then I'm going a little bit deeper on the prediction side of data analysis, and I'm working with these cognitive aspects of the next level of the prediction. We are not using simulations. We are really doing optimizations. For who are connected with this field, there is a big difference on that. Connected with education, I'm working inside of MBA program, teaching design thinking. And let me think if there is something that I'm not remembering. I'm starting to design a specific program that's more connected with ethical innovation and entrepreneurship. It's something that is a long shot. Again, is something that I'm researching a lot because of my past and seeing things like Terranos, Juicero, these case studies that are terrible. I think we can learn how to teach innovation and entrepreneurship, paying more attention with the reality and taking a little bit of care around the smoke and mirrors that you can have when you start to show things that are super different. For example, I can bring to you when I was designing the track programs to the MIT Bootcamp in Rio de Janeiro. A lot of people worked while we was not working with the favelas and people that came from these background, or bringing people with scholarships, and for everywhere people was asking to me. And what I said, that it's something that's not really respectful to go inside of this kind of community and start to talk about to get a seed investment of 500K when they are not able to have money to get the bus. It's you need to take care when you are starting to explain how to be in different ecosystem, because sometimes for people that are inside of a specific ecosystem, things looks like pretty common or pretty easy to acquire. And when you go in the end of the day after a program like this, and you are back in your house and you don't have money to eat in the afternoon, it's not easy, man. You have responsibility on that. And this is the kind of thing that I'm paying attention. I'm really taking care of the business that I already started. I'm putting me out of the decision maker unit. Like I'm not CEO of Elio. My position is CNO, but there is a lot of people taking care of all the innovation too. I'm more connected with maybe like a part of the board, or just paying attention if things are going the right direction. I still have 30% of the company. You can consider a bootstrap. The holding have just 3 big partners. Everybody have 30, and then we have small people, small partners that have a little bit of equities. Well, amazing people, not small people, amazing people. But I still have control of the company. I have all the ability to select who is the CEO and everybody. The same thing with Comboio, and is that I'm really trying to take care of my family. I have a little baby now, Manuela. I'm really focused on that too. I'm enjoying. I am 47-year-old guy. It's an amazing chance to have a baby with this age and enjoy it. And is that. And I'm looking for new projects. As I started the conversation with Spencer, around the sorry, this is a big truck passing here, but a single board computer that people want, that I became part of the board to help to create some kind of quick starter or Kickstarter to this system. I'm also working with a big consulting design company that's called Questiono. I'm helping on the growth of the company in America, focusing on the ag tech industry. I am a partner of Accelerator in Chicago too. There is some new things. Let me see. I'm working with the med school here in Brazil, creating the new innovation center. It's the biggest philanthropic institution, but because of the COVID, we stopped it a little bit. I'm working with the HackMed team of MIT, amazing team. That is, man, these guys are really strong. I participated in 3 editions of it. It was incredible. 1,500 people inside of a Slack channel. it's something that's completely insane, and they are able to deal with that. And I think it's that, Spencer. But in the end of the day, I'm waking up, taking care of my baby, looking for some emails, talking with people that really want to listen to something that sometimes sounds crazy. and that this is my life, man.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate your explanations. I was actually going to pass the ball to Redmond. He actually put a link on there and said, can your drones be used for more commercialized use than difficult terrains, weather, etc.?
Let me see. Let me see if I got the question. We work with 3 different kinds of drones. Okay, we work with fixed wings, that basically airplanes. We have the airships, and we use just a little bit of quadcopters, or what people normally call drones. When you are talking about these difficult terrains, you are talking about high altitude, it's far away, or difficult weather.
So in Redmond's question, he also links to Aerial Loop.
Let me click here. I know the company. You need to take care, okay? When you are flying over a city, these things can really hurt, and the liability here is it's crazy, okay? I will give you an example. I think for things like medical samples, vaccines, things that you need to hurry up, like 80 Celsius, minus 80 Celsius vaccine, it makes sense, okay, for me. But for things like to deliver pizza, it's completely BS, okay? Don't make any sense, because if you're trying to innovate in the area of pizza delivery, just create a fintech that help the guys that are driving the motorcycles to have health insurance, or do something that's more useful than to make this kind of marketing thing to deliver a pizza from one point to another point. But here you are showing something that's, yes, is possible to do. Every country have a different legislation. The liability here is enormous. The kind of interference, even with 5G or anything that you use to keep track where your drone is, it's a nightmare. It falls all the time. The GPS go wrong. The precision to have a good delivering system inside of a city. Maybe you need a real-time kinetic system, even using GLONASS or other kind of technology. The point is, it's possible. I love the idea, but you need to know exactly what kind of problem you are trying to solve, because there is a lot of chance that you are just in love with the technology. You're not, what kind of problem you're trying to solve? To make this, to send something like a heart to be transfused for a transfusion, or a medical thing that, but man, come on, again, it is super delicate. These systems are not completely unfair, and why to not think about on a different way to attack this problem? I am afraid a little bit. I can use it. We are designing one to do that exactly for medical reasons on rural areas, or to deliver specific things, to go 60 kilometers in our proof of concept. But again, we know exactly for who, what is the cost, to don't have these, why to not do that with a truck or an ambulance or any kind of other vehicle. The point is, why you want to do that? What is the problem? But we can use it for the right reasons. But in any country that you go, you need to learn how the legislation are already prepared. There are a lot of restrictions to fly for outside of your site view. You cannot fly completely unmanned, like autonomous systems, just for military use or super specific situations. I like the idea again, but you need to know exactly why you are doing that and check if you are attacking the right problem.
Thank you very much for that insight, Luciano. I think, as you've very clearly stated, it is important to be sure of your purpose in what you're developing and aim at that target. Now, I believe GJ has a question he wants to ask.
Yes, thank you. So my question is more about how to build companies, right? So I'm working, as you know, I work as a data scientist, and I build intelligent systems of how to drive behavior into population, like wellness things. And on the side, I want to create those kind of things to solve problems, right? Use artificial intelligence, machine learning. The problem that I'm having is that you mentioned something before that was the lack of knowledge. Sometimes I have excess of knowledge. So I want to build everything, and I program with Python, I do the APIs, I need to learn a new platform and then another one and then another one. What I understood from what you were saying is that you were more doing something like a modular approach to what you were building, right? You were integrating things. So what's the approach that you have used to build that things that can help you to achieve that? Because the problem that I've had, and that's another thing that you mentioned, is that I've had partners that have spent now around $50,000, right? And that money has gone anywhere because my partners have not delivered, or they have left, or it's been very difficult to find the right partners. So in one way, I want to work with people, but in the other way, when I work with them, the people that I choose to work with haven't been able to deliver because either they don't have the skills that they said they have, or we didn't plan the correct way. And even if I follow the methodology that I learned at the bootcamp, it's much more than that. It's much more, for me, it's much more than defining the problem. Okay, I already know the problem. I already know the technology. I already have the MVP. How I do it? Because I cannot scale in teams some way, right? It's not very easy to find somebody that can do that.
Basically, we need to first check what we have now, and how we can move forward. Maybe you can create a mind map of what is going on. I'm really using to this kind of situation. The Miro platform, the design and design thinking, and what I think it's important to you to put all these things that happened and from your mind to something that's more concrete. And sometimes when you do it visually and you can create a mind map of what is going on, even to me to go there and check and help you to get a good pass where you keep things on a good way and you can move forward on the way that it makes sense. Because I'm working with this optimization company, man, and man, it's incredible. I'm really going through that, and maybe the momentum for what you are trying to build, it's now. Maybe you was a little bit early on the market with your knowledge, and putting out all the buzzwords like AI, machine learning, deep learning. Man, there's the 100% of people that are 100.1 or infinite minus one people that are talking about that. They really don't know what is going on around that. Okay, but they want to use. But they want to use. They want to buy. They want to learn. Okay. And there is opportunity. I'm not talking about smoke and mirrors, or not to try to to be an expert in snake oil or something like that. But maybe what you just need, but exactly that. Things for you have one perspective. You are a specialist, and imagine again. Maybe it's time for redo the market segmentation and understand where is the fit of your knowledge and what kind of product that you really have, and then you can go there and check exactly where you can act and have a pressure point. But what can I say? Sometimes we are a little bit early in the market. When I was trying to go there in the fields and show people, oh, this is how your near infrared reflection that's correlated with the photosynthesis of your plant. And the farmers said, man, this guy got some. No, man, this guy got some mushroom on the pasture, and he's completely crazy with this color map, man. And this is it's real, man. Sometimes we are so inside of the technology that for people are super interesting, that just to be able to get something that will help somebody that want to go to artificial intelligence or really want to know how to put machine learning. Sometimes they just need to understand how to go to their Excel spreadsheet and start to organize their data in a way that will be able to run some models over it. And this is already amazing. And maybe if you understand that you can do that, maybe for restaurants, we are in the middle of a COVID challenge, or we have opportunities to really pay attention. You have super complex supply chains, or you have different kinds of delivery companies or food companies that are looking for ways to be more optimized, and you can run scenarios. And again, I think what you can do is to really come back to the scratch, understand what kind of market segmentation, understand what kind of situation we are living now. I can help you again. My suggestion is get this app. That is something that I really love to use. It's called Miro. You put all your ideas, what things, everything that you made, what is the board or everything that you have there, just to see what is the size of the work that you made. And then we can go inside and outside and try to understand, because for sure there are opportunities to use the IP that you already created. And after you have something going on, you can try to understand how you can take care of the other partners that are not working, or maybe they can come back, or maybe you can buy, or maybe you can change the rules, or maybe you can start a new company, because it's a different thing, man. But you can be fair, where you can be fair with everybody. Sometimes what happens? I made a mistake on the beginning. I brought somebody that's a super friend. I know him since he was 2 years old and I was 3. Okay, we are really friends. And what happened? I cannot put him inside of the holding company, because we don't want a holding company with 20 names inside of it, because this is a nightmare to take signatures. Now that we will be public, then we will be just numbers and it's easier. But when I was waiting to this moment when things was changing, and then I can go back and say, okay, you remember, this is what the amount of work that you made, and you gave the right share in the right moment. Is what you can do, but it's difficult. It's why you need to take care on the beginning. Sometimes we start, okay, you are good on computer vision, you're good in UX, and you have 5% for. It's better to work or wait for the moment you have money. Work 2 or 3 months with this guy and see if things are going the right direction. It's like you start having a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and then you go to marriage. No, let's go to Las Vegas, man. Boom. No.
You always seem full of passion, no matter what. So we're gonna let Daniel ask you a question. All right.
Hi, Danny.
Hey, Luciano. It's so good to talk to you every time. And I was wondering, I think this question is good for everybody in the call. And we know you have experience with that. I had some experiences raising money and finding partners and all this stuff. But I have actually, it's kind of 2 questions, because I wanted to know how did you find like the right people to invest in your business, and how not to use the buzzwords when you're pitching your business. So how was this experience?
This is a good question. Again, there are things that makes me a little bit. I try to calm myself, but sometimes when I'm seeing some kinds of presentations where people are saying, "No, money is there. You just need to come with the right thing," and this guy was connected with Sequoia or already worked inside of Sequoia. It's okay. Money is there. Of course, money is there. You worked in Sequoia, and you can pitch the Juicero, and maybe you get some money. And there's these kind of things are something that really makes me a little bit mad. Okay, let's talk about the reality. If you are trying to raise money in Brazil, is one thing. If you're trying to raise money in Australia, is another thing. In Taiwan, is another thing. In America, is another completely different thing. Okay, but there is a common thing on that. When we go to VCs or even seeds or micro seeds, or we are not talking about angels and families, sometimes angels too, but in the end of the day, it's network. Okay, these guys just will put money if they know somebody that's connected with what you are doing. People can say, no, they look to the team. Man, if they don't have any track record of you, it's super difficult to get any money. And this is important strategically when you are building your team. Maybe the guy that you call to be the CFO needs to be somebody that's really well connected with this industry. Is the truth, okay? And is why some kind of loans are getting better. Sometimes it's better to get some loan in the bank than to spend 2 years doing DEX and going to VCs that because they don't know you or anybody in your team, they will not put money. I don't know who is this guy, where he comes from. Nobody's from the Ivy League. No. Man, this is the real thing, okay? The network is super important, and there you need to be super strategic how to build that. Is why the bootcamp is something that's important. Our network, it's amazing. People know you. When you are inside of one cohort, you can go there and connect people, and you can be introduced to somebody. And this is the way it works. I'm not saying that you really need a good deck. You really need a good business model. You really need patents. You really need an amazing team. But in the end of the day, if you try to do cold calls to VCs, the chance of this guy to say, no, Luciano from Brazil, I'm here in California, I'm here in Palo Alto, we have how many people trying to fundraise? Why this guy will put money in the hand of somebody from Botucatu, Brazil, if they have amazing guys in their corner, man? Don't make any sense. But if these guys knows, okay, they passed through the Terra program, this from Rabobank, and they know, oh yeah, I know. Oh, he worked with Nathan Trujillo. Nathan Trujillo is an amazing guy. Let's take a call and see what is. They will check who you are in the end of the day. Is why it's important to keep your network, and maybe it's good to have people inside of your team that already have this connection. Or if you don't have this connection, you need to think about VCs that have this agnostic approach. And there are VCs that say clearly they are looking for a new face already, okay? There are early stage VCs here in Brazil that they are not looking to that, but the ticket is not super high. For America, it's not considered a seed, or it's considered a gift. I don't know. It's like we are talking about 100K USD, okay. But for America, of 100K seed is a normal shot, okay. Here in Brazil, to get 50 to have $10,000, $10,000 is already super. You know, Danny, that's super difficult. And in the end of the day, venture capital. Take a look. We are talking about a super mature environment where the venture capitalists in America, they know exactly what kind of exits, what is a Series A, Series B, Series C, Series D, where the money goes. There is IPO. You can design for an exit. Sometimes you go to VCs here in Brazil or in other environments that they are just playing with some money, and it's the first time that they're doing that. They don't know exactly what kind of exit, or maybe they're just testing with you, and they get a lot of share from you. Maybe you go to a Series A and they get 40% and the game's over. And but the trick is to pay attention and don't hurry up too much. I know the game for startups are to be fast, okay? But to be fast on the wrong way, you just fall faster on the hill, man. I'm going. Yeah, I'm going.
I totally relate to that. You know that we were talking, like, I think in 2018, and you know that I traveled the world searching for money. I was in Mexico. I went to a kind of television program, just like Shark Tank, but in Mexico. And I was talking to the investors and all the things that we talk and on other startups there. And the feeling that I had is that it was the same thing as from that guys specifically to get investment from them. And they were like US investors, Mexico or different Canada, everywhere. These guys, they were looking to invest in your company, but they also it sounded like they were like a bank. You know, they wanted the returns and they wanted a lot of shares. And in my head, I was like, I don't need that, and I could just ask the loan. The bank knows me. I have company for more than 10 years now, so I already had enough credit to ask for the money directly to the bank. And what I feel is that networking is so much more important. And as you were answering that, it's perfect answer, because that's exactly what I was like reading in my head. I was like, do you really like networking is the best way and maybe the only way?
And yeah, I bring you something that looks like a little bit as an accession, but there is a good advantage when you are connected with some kind of VCs that already work on a specific environment that will connect to you with the right customers. And they are looking for the kind of solution that you have because they already have the way to connect you with this customer or with these other companies. And this is a perfect situation when they will put money because they already know where you will fit inside of a different supply chain, maybe to help another startup. There are good situations, but it's not easy to be there. And you just learn, or you will just be able to be in this situation if you really start to open your network and pay attention if you really need the money now. Because just is not a free ticket. Is not like a prize. Sometimes people think that fundraising is something like okay, I got $1 million. Oh, no, you need to pay back 5 million, 7 million, 10 million in 3 years, man.
Yeah. So just before I pass for the next question, I just wanted to add that one of the weirdest experience that I had with this program in Mexico is that I presented my pitch. Really, it was terrible, and it was really terrible. The guys didn't want to invest in me. But afterwards, we had dinner, and I could sit with all these investors because they were staying at the same hotel I was. And after doing this network and talking to them, and we went to a nightclub afterwards with the girls and everybody, and the talk with me was totally different. They totally wanted to invest in my company. They just met me a little bit more. So I was always thinking about the networking and how that it really maybe like it's a big difference when you have these connections.
Is completely different. It's something that really happens even when you go to really sophisticated and professional. In the end of the day, they will do a background check, man. And if they have two decks that are pretty close, maybe your technology or you are a little bit early on the market or you have more IP, but if they know somebody inside of the team A or team B, even if the team B is not so good at team A, man, they will put money on the team B because they know somebody inside of the team and they have the track record, and there is somebody that's saying, no, this guy can really deliver what they are saying.
Unless they know you're terrible, right?
Yes. The background check is for good or for bad, man.
Perfect answer. Thank you so much, Luciano.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thanks for your question, Daniel. Krish, do you have audio? Do you want to ask your question?
Oh, yes, I can. Hey, Luciano, long time. Like we met in 2018. We were supposed to tag in the negotiation program as well.
It was super cool, man. It was super cool, man. I remember you got me. I was really screwed up on this negotiation. You really got everything from me, man.
Yeah, awesome, great. So Luciano, just very quickly, you have been part of the urban planning. So I just wanted to keep it as an open discussion point from my end. So just like I was part of the World Economic Forum in the last 2 weeks, and there was a lot of concept around upskilling, jobs reskilling. One of the things that is really going around the change is the infrastructure upskilling. The thing is like the diners, basically the restaurants which were there, they have been changed to different things. Saloons which were there, they have been changing to it. So you have been into the urban planning section for very long. So do you see that evolution coming around? Do you see that there is a need right now to create not very obstructive construction within your compound, but keep it like minimal? Like if anything needs to be changed, you can change the entire ecosystem very quickly. So do you think that that kind of thing is going to be in the urban planning? Like the entire places are going through changes right now.
Man, this is a really good question, and this is something that I really appreciate to uh, think about. Answering you, what there is a big opportunity in what you brought is the use of different kind of data sets to take these decisions. Okay, what I think, because the kind of the level of the discussion of you are bringing, and we with the level of seniority with people that you are working on, and the forum is super strong. I think the right way to think about that, imagine a fluid dynamics analysis, but not thinking about particles, but people, okay? We can really create different kind of models that can simulate situations, or even optimizing situations more than simulations, that can give this answer not just by guess, that, or not just by experience. We can use the human experience, we can use the traditional ways to analyze that, but in this case, that we have a different, a real, a model where we have a lot of restrictions, and the kind of restrictions that are super strong. I think there is a big space to use different tools to do these analysis. Okay, and the answer to this question, if we need some different kinds of typologies to answer to the needs of communities in a different way because of these pandemic situations, the answer is yes, we need it. And but it is connected with the intelligence around the analysis of these big groups, or the behavior of these big groups. If you want to move a little bit forward on this discussion, I can put. I don't have a direct contact with this team. I am a kind of stalker of this team. Okay, I really love the way they are working on that. I didn't try to contact them because I was not really able to bring something that was strong enough to get their attention. But I think you have this question, and you have the right question to do to this group and to this team and this university that are working on this level that your question needs to be challenged, and to bring back tools and ways to go further. I can help, and I will love to be connected with this. But the answer is yes. I think we have. Again, I don't like to call the pandemic as an opportunity, because there is a lot of terrible things going on right now around that. But the change that we are having during this situation, that is like a war situation, it's a war between humans, and there is a there is a way to define virus. I don't remember who was the scientist that brought that, but he called it the virus. Bad news encapsulated in protein, but or something like that. Okay, and this is exactly what we have now: a monster that is attacking us and is changing everything, and we need to be respectful through that. There is a lot. I was pretty close to lose a friend. The doctor of my kids passed away from COVID. Man, terrible situation. But again, we are able to learn during these periods, and innovation, and again, being ethical and taking care of what kind of environment you are going through. we can really do change. And sometimes, as Danny brought, sometimes we are trying so many things, and but when you go and just be more human, you have the right answers. No, and I think is that we can do things if we help each other. And please contact me. I will show about who I'm talking about, and maybe with a code call or a code call together, we can have some attention, and they can be interested to model this. Okay.
Oh, for sure, Luciano, for sure. So this is more like I'll just put it into our smart cities. Like we have under this Discord channel. I'll just put these ideas. It was just something that coming from a urban planning background.
Man, you need to see that, man. You need to see that, man. I will show to you, and it's like to use the all the tools that you have for high level engineering, from fluid dynamics to particle emissions, to the urban level, or to create models, and you can input economical things, and man, it's beautiful. It's in the end of the day. And again, we are not putting out jobs on this, because we need people that can understand that graphics, and we need people that put inside of it and the answers. Because when we are doing an optimization on some model, we can put what we are looking for, and we can put in this model that we are looking ways to create more jobs in this period. Okay, it's not just to be profitable. We can really restrict some parts of the optimization in that direction, man. Okay.
I really appreciate your verbalizations of what's just such a complex terrain right now, and that you have made so much happen, despite the pandemic, but also kind of because of it. Looking for those ways in which things are evolving. And I always get so fired up speaking to you. I really appreciate all of your time and your words of wisdom. And I know, we've had a follow-up with, a couple people. I think it would be really appropriate to do that with you as things evolve.
I'm really happy to do that. I was really trying to get some dates that was possible to me. I'm dealing with different things here. There is a saying here in Brazil. I will say first in Portuguese, mais ou menos assim: todo mundo vê as pingas que eu bebo, mas não os tombos que eu levo. What it means? Everybody just saw the drinks I take, not the follows that I got. Okay, it's not it's not a easy pass. Okay, and we sometimes we wake up on a gray Monday, and you have things to do that's not so fun, and it is not easy. And to keep the spirit on a high level looks like something that it's an obligation, and this is so overwhelming. If you are sad someday and you don't want to do anything, just don't do anything. Okay, you just go there. There is a kind of go, man. You need to go. You need to go. No, man. Sometimes you really need to pause a little bit. Don't listen too much to these kind of things, and take your time. Try to read another book, or just relax a little bit, and take your time. Don't go in that direction that you need to be in a super excited state all time, that because you crash. Is what will happen.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of wisdom to be taken from finding that balance. I don't know if there's a perfect balance, but knowing when to take space and when to press forward. And I think you have the ability to do both, evidenced by your list of accomplishments.
Yeah, I'm always trying. You know, Nance, another saying that I learned. It's if the hangover becomes first than the the party, to drink it will be considered a virtuous. Okay, and this is exactly what we are doing. It's exactly what we are doing here. We need to keep balance. We need to keep balance. Try to keep balance. Help your friends when you cannot. Just say, "Man, I am exhausted. I cannot do it now, man. But I will be able to do in 2 or 3 weeks if it's okay for you, because it's better to than to under deliver or to we are sometimes on a situation that we become a people pleaser because you really want to help everybody, and this is not a good situation too. When I say, for example, when I bring to Krish, or I was really saying that I was able to help, is because now I'm really able, and if I'm not able to help in that week, I will say, man, this week I am in a deep trouble here. I need just to take a little bit of time. Sorry, but if I try to do it now, I will crash and it will be worse. I will disappear for 2 months, and and then and this is what I'm doing now. I'm really taking care of my health, and to how to help, still helping people, but keeping my things together too.
I personally believe that's the key. Finding that ability to propel one's physical and mental strength for the long term. So thank you for doing that for us today too, because this is hugely inspiring to myself and I think for everyone else listening too. So I feel like you left us with a lot of little excerpts. Do you want to leave us with a final word of wisdom?
Pay attention with everybody that's close to us. Be respectful. Don't try to overpromise or to. It's pretty bad when you underdeliver. And take care of yourself. To fundraise is not a miracle; it's a kind of loan, and you have people inside of your company paying attention to what you're doing and sometimes putting you in the wrong direction. Just keep moving and be pretty sure that you know the problem that you're solving. Okay, it's commodities now, but have a purpose. I think this is new. Have a real purpose to why you are doing something, for who. I think is stronger than just to understand the problem. Have a purpose around that. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much. You heard it here from Luciano. Have a purpose. Thank you so much to Luciano and to everyone who joined us and actively participated today. We appreciate you bringing your perspective and your energy to today's discussion. And Spencer and I feel truly fortunate to be part of this community and are very open to hearing your ideas on how we can make Discord a better place for all of us to connect for ongoing, meaningful discussion. So please feel free to check out the other topical channels when you have a chance. And if you would like to ask Luciano additional questions, it sounds like he's really open to connecting on LinkedIn or via email. And you can also connect with him on one of the Discord channels. And one final thank you, Luciano, too, for creating our beautiful logo. For those of you who didn't know, that's Luciano's handiwork.
Yes, and thank you so much, because I'm super happy to see it working, and that it really has a personality and an impact as our community.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, I hope that everyone has a great day and a great evening ahead. Take care.
Bye-bye.
This has been Nancy and Spencer on Founders Voyage Weekly Podcast. Our speaker each week can be reached through our Discord server. Our intro and outro music is from the song Something for Nothing by Reverend Peyton's Big Damn Band. We'll be back again next week for another episode. Until then, have a great day and continue your voyage.